positioning of the, yep.
So we're
Okay.
perfect, good. But
Some
it's,
states are doing it.
it's
Turn
up
the
open
volume
now,
down.
so if you want, I was working on
But
electric.
like
Oh.
I said,
Down now if you want.
Oh, okay.
then that would be up to you.
Oh, I need the USB.
I pulled that stick out. It's, I laid it right there.
I just used to tell you. Are we on? Good evening. Do we have a member of the Minister Alliance here this evening? We do not. Would you please stand with me for a moment of silence? Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call the July 19th, 2021 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Brad Alexander,
Present.
Jim Strout,
Here.
Jeremy Taylor,
Here.
Brandy Carroll,
Here.
Kim Vickers,
Here.
Kelly Netto,
Here.
Dana Webb.
Here, thank you. We do not have any new business deletions or continuances, so we'll move on to public comments. And Kim, we do not have any this
There are
evening,
none.
correct? There are none. So the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. These items are considered on the consent agenda so that members of the Board of Aldermen, by unanimous consent, can designate routine items to be approved by one motion. Tonight, we have 4 items. We have the approval of the July 6, 2021 Board of Aldermen meeting minutes, expenditures through July 15th, 2021, the June 2021 financial statement, and semi-annual summary of cash and fund balance.
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business, and we do not have any of that this evening, so we will move on to our first order of new business, which is a discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding request from the Oak Grove Historical Society to approve them having a horse parade sponsored by the Kansas City Cowboys for Cops on Saturday, August 14th, 2021, parade route and road closures. Do we have city staff have any report first?
Just this, as Mayor, as you mentioned, this is co-sponsored by the Oak Grove Historical Society as well as KC Cowboys for Cops. The event would take place Saturday, August 14th. The parade would consist of approximately 200 to 300 horses. Riders would saddle at 9 a.m. at Frick Park. They would head out at about 9:30 and should return at 11. The parade route would go from 12th Street, go east on 12th Street to Oak Ridge, where it would head south down to 19th Street, and then it would head back west onto Broadway, then it would go north on Broadway back to 12th Street to Frick Park. Most of the stops would be a rolling stop, and the police chief could probably speak more to that in detail. Broadway would need to be closed for that duration because we don't want horses and cars mixing for that time. So Broadway would be closed, the other ones would be rolling stops. And I'm sure the chief and Pat Costigan with the Historical Society would be happy to answer any other questions the board may have. And the route is up on the screen as well.
Thank you. Would the board like Pat to come up to the microphone, or are you guys good? Good, okay. Would you like Chief to answer any questions?
Who's on the cleanup crew?
That's what I was wanting somebody to ask. Good job.
The cleanup crew would be a bucket crew on foot, and then followed by a sanitation crew after that.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the Historical Society Parade on August 14th. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is a public hearing regarding a request by Lisa Bailey, Rustic Heights LLC developer, pursuit of Section 405.90.b and 405.85.e located east of Jake's Crossing and south of 4th Street Extension for the Planned Unit Development PUD with a PUD concept plan for multifamily development. Mr. Randall, is that you again?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So the public hearing tonight is for a proposed amendment to the PUD concept plan. This property has a valid concept PUD plan that was approved by the Board of Aldermen December 9th of 2019. The applicant has submitted a revised concept plan, which includes 2 changes of note. First, the approved concept PUD included 40 buildings on 8 lots. The revised plan places each of those buildings on its own lot. So now there'd be 40 buildings on 40 lots versus 40 buildings on 8 lots. The second change, the approved concept PUD plan included staggering the front setbacks 30 feet and 25 feet. This was done to add visual interest and to remove sort of those parallel lines looking down the street. The applicant is requested to adjust those variations from 30 feet and 25 to 30 feet and 27 feet. The intent is to provide additional parking space for each unit with those additional 2 feet to prevent overhang of those vehicles on sidewalks or the curb. So R3 setbacks are 30 feet. So actually this change brings those proposed setbacks closer to base zoning district of R3. Staff's concern with going from 8 lots to 40 lots is that there's potential for an ever wider array of property maintenance as well as general building maintenance. So to mitigate this, the applicant has added HOA covenants and restrictions that assigns maintenance and repair responsibilities to the HOA, and that's been included in the amended ordinance before you tonight. There are no other significant changes to the plan. The PUD still includes the amenities such as the pool, clubhouse, playground, and additional off-street parking to reduce on-street parking. There's no other changes, and so staff feels that while going from 8 lots to 40 lots does potentially create additional owners, we feel that the addition of the HOA restrictions help mitigate those concerns moving forward. So with that, I'm happy to answer any question the board may have.
At this time, if the board has questions, please direct them to city staff, and then we'll open the public hearing. Does the board have any for staff? Go ahead.
Why such a drastic difference in the amount of lots? Like, how do you jump from 8 to 40? Just, I mean, is there a reason, or?
Yeah, I may defer to the applicant on that one, but it's my understanding it would be that it's easier to sell a lot with 1 building on it than a lot with 5 buildings. And each of those buildings would have between 4 to 8 units. So I'd be finding an investor that would purchase, 40 to 60 units on the old plan versus now they'd only have to buy 4 units or maybe 8 units if it was an 8-plex.
So that's potentially 40 different owners? of these?
Correct. Yeah, potentially there would be 40 different owners. And so that was our concern, that then we'd have 40 different grass heights, you'd have 40 different paint colors and the like. And so part of the HOA restrictions do obligate that the HOA would be responsible for maintaining the common areas, providing for the painted surfaces and repair of roofs and sidings of each unit, providing for lawn care, mowing, edging, fertilizing, sprinkler system, provide for snow clearing of driveways and alleyways and sidewalks, maintain a reserve fund for the repair and replacement of common areas such as the clubhouse and the pool, and then maintain other areas such as the stormwater detention.
Okay.
Any other questions for city staff? All right, members of the public who wish to offer testimony, please come forward to the microphone at this time. State your name and address and direct the questions into the microphone. I now open the public hearing. All right, we do not have anyone, so if there are no comments, I will close the public hearing. And the next item on the agenda would be discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding an ordinance approving the amended PUD concept plan for land located generally east of Jake's Crossing subdivision and between Southeast 4th Street and Southeast 6th Street, totaling approximately 17.55 acres for the Rustic Heights development, all in accordance with the provisions of the Unified Development Code, Title IV, Chapter 405 of the Municipal Code of Oak Grove, Missouri.
Make a motion for first and second reading by title only?
Second.
We have a motion for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full bill 2 times?
An ordinance approving an amended PUD concept plan for land located generally east of Jake's Crossing subdivision and between Southeast 4th Street and Southeast 6th Street, totaling approximately 17.55 acres for the Rustic Heights development, all in accordance with the provisions of the Unified Development Code, Title 4, Chapter 405 of the Municipal Code of Oak Grove, Missouri. An ordinance approving an amended PUD concept plan for land located generally east of Jake's Crossing subdivision and between Southeast 4th Street and Southeast 6th Street, totaling approximately 17.55 acres for the Rustic Heights development, all in accordance with the provisions of the Unified Development Code, Title 4, Chapter 405 of the Municipal Code of Oak Grove, Missouri.
Make a motion to approve first and second reading and for adoption.
Second.
We have a motion for the second reading for adoption of the ordinance. Any discussion? City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Brad Alexander,
Yes.
Jim Shrout,
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Brandy Carroll,
Yes.
Kim Vickers,
Yes.
Kelly Netto.
Yes.
Motion is approved and the ordinance is adopted. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding bids for a security fence at 203 Southwest 11th Street and privacy fence at 1903 South Broadway.
That's me.
Tom?
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
Competitive bids were received last Monday for this fence project. The project includes a 6-foot black chain link fence around the Public Works facility located at 203 Southwest 11th Street. And that fence also includes 2 sliding gates and 1 pedestrian gate. And the project also includes a 6-foot PVC tongue and groove fence for the new animal control building to allow dogs to run off and let some steam out. So at 1903 South Broadway. Although this is competitive bid, we only received 1 bid. We had quite a bit of interest in it, but we only received 1 bid, and that bid was by Premier Fence. Their bid was $35,471, and the estimate was $35,410. So since, this single bid is in line with our estimate and it's within our budget, we recommend that we award this project to Premier Fence for $35,471, plus a contingency of $5,000 and the total amount of $40,471. And the contingency is to cover any kind of, it's a unit price bid, so any additions or subtractions to the amount of fence would be covered by that contingency. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Tom.
I make a motion that we approve the contract for
Yes.
Premier Fence for the 2 fencing projects in the amount of $40,471.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the bids from security fence at 203 Southwest 11th Street and the privacy fence at 1903 South Broadway. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding an ordinance for the city of Oak Grove, Missouri, to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials. Who's that? Kim?
That's going to be me.
All righty.
This is just the standard conflict of interest ordinance that we pass each year.
Okay.
Your packet.
Everything's the same, yes.
Same.
Motion for the first and second reading by title only.
Second.
We have a motion for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the bill 2 times?
An ordinance of the City of Oak Grove, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials. An ordinance of the City of Oak Grove, Missouri to establish a procedure to disclose potential conflicts of interest and substantial interest for certain municipal officials.
Motion to approve first and second reading with adoption.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of the ordinance. Any discussion? Would you please call the roll?
Brad Alexander,
Yes.
Jim Shrout,
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Brandy Carroll,
Yes.
Kim Vickers,
Yes.
Kelly Neto.
Yes.
The motion is approved and the ordinance is adopted. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding an ordinance amending the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning on January 1st, 2021, and ending December 31st, 2021.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
So this would adjust the budget to account for revenues from the CenturyLink back taxes that we received earlier this year, as well as the projected increases in building permit revenues. The budget amendment would also increase expenditures along with the revenues to account for the additional half FT that was created to improve or to increase the half FT for the customer service rep to a full-time permit tech. In addition, the budget amendment includes $345,000 in addition to capital improvements to increase this year's street overlay program.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
Make a motion for first and second reading by title only?
Second.
We have a motion for the first and second reading of title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the bill 2 times?
An ordinance amending the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning on January 1, 2021, and ending on December 31st, 2021. An ordinance amending the annual budget for the fiscal year beginning on January 1st, 2021, and ending on December 31st, 2021.
Make a motion to approve first and second reading and for adoption?
Second.
We have a motion to approve the first and second reading of the adoption of the ordinance. Any discussion? City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Brad Alexander,
Yes.
Jim Shrout,
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Brandy Carroll,
Yes.
Kim Vickers,
Yes.
Kelly Neto.
Yes.
Motion is approved and the ordinance is adopted. The next item on the agenda is information reports. Mr. Randall, do you have a report?
No report. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Williams, do you have a report? No report. Thank you. No report. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Chief, do you have a report?
No report, ma'am.
Tom, do you have a report?
I'm just going to brief you on some of our public works activities. We finished up doing some road repairs on Eagle Drive and A Street in Oaks Edgewood, and now they're going to move on to probably later this week, Winterberry Court and Eagle off to the west. It's kind of a war zone in there. We're going to do some concrete in the throat of it. There's some houses being built in the cul-de-sac that need to have sewer lines tapped in the street, so we're not going to be doing that. So watch for activities to get any calls. I mean, you may get some calls, well, why are we just doing part of it, not all of it? But we're waiting for the houses to tap the sewers for the rest of it.
Okay, thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Kim, do you have a report?
I just wanted to say we did have the first Third Thursdays food trucks last week on the 15th. It was raining, but it was still a successful event. There were quite a few people here. So that will be on Third Thursdays through October from 4:30 to 8 o'clock here at the parking lot in City Hall.
Yes, thank you. Scott, do you have a report?
Yeah, twice in the last 3 weeks, we've had some vandalism at the Web Park concession restroom at the one by Fields 1 and 2. I believe it's a youth, a minor. Don't really have for sure who it is, but we're working on trying to figure that out. But they're doing significant damage to the facility. One of them occurred on Thursday night, which the tournament, that was World Series weekend. Tournament started Thursday day. Friday morning, we come to find a huge mess. And we were able to get back together for that World Series, but there was, you can imagine, everything spray painted and damage done. And then last weekend, they bashed it, just beat the heck out of it. So we're trying to look into ways to possibly some time locks and other things like that, that the restroom facility doors will lock shut with a magnet lock, and looking into it and see what those costs would be.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
We're going to start down here. We're going to change it up tonight, okay? All right, Brad, do you have a report?
Well, last meeting, I complimented 2 of my grandnieces on winning their softball league. That was Chloe and Sydney. Tonight, I have to congratulate my grandniece, Gracie Alexander. Her group won the nationals at the dance competition in Iowa this past week, and so we're real proud of her. That's all I have.
Thank you, Brad. Brandy?
No report.
No report.
Jeremy? Jim?
No report.
Kelly?
No report.
Kim? No report. I do not have a report. Hold on a minute. Go ahead.
Sorry, I did forget something I wanted to add. I do want to commend the Historical Society for their efforts to bring the horse parade to Oak Grove.
Yes.
That parade
Yes.
previously has been held in Kansas City. So they worked with, obviously, the KC Cowboys for Cops, as well as Jackson County Sheriff's Office, and they approached the city of Oak Grove, worked with the police department, as well as the Parks and Rec Department to bring this parade to our town. So I do want to commend them for their efforts and in collaboration with us to make this event come to Oak Grove.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Thanks for reminding us. Thank you, Pat,
Yeah.
for all your hard work, and the board and whoever else did that. We do appreciate it. So look forward to seeing it. I do not have a report either, so I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Stop recording, please.